Hi guys, and welcome to another Hero of the Week. Now this week's hero is Angela Eagle, Labour MP. So to give you a bit of context, an urgent question was put to the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, but he was too frightened to appear, so instead he sent the Paymaster General, who just stonewalled. Johnson was too much of a coward to answer if he had attended a party in the garden of number 10. Angela asked a wonderful question, one that's on the minds of most when it comes to Downing Street and house and garden parties during lockdown. Let's hear the question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Perhaps it would be faster if Sue Gray were to investigate the days that there weren't parties on.
So she's referring to Sue Gray, who's going to investigate whether there was a party at number 10 and who attended it. Boris Johnson, of course, didn't turn up because he was afraid to answer questions. So yes, maybe it would be better for Sue Gray to investigate when parties did not take place.
Now, the Minister, I have sympathy for the Minister because he's been sent with his gatherings excuse to defend the utterly indefensible. We know, do we not, Mr. Speaker, that an invite to a bring your own booze party was sent out for the 20th of May when 268 people died in hospital on that day. We know that it was illegal to meet anyone outside of your own household except one person overnight. So what is there to wait for? The Prime Minister should come here now, fess up and tell us what happened.
Well done. And of course Boris Johnson did not turn up because Boris Johnson is a coward. And instead he sent Michael Ellis, the Paymaster General, who's a lawyer and is able to respond to these things. But if you watch the entire exchange, his response was always the same. We need to wait for the investigation to release its findings. And that's all he really said. He sympathized with people who lost loved ones, with constituents who lost loved ones, and that was pretty much it. Stonewalling. He was not really answering any questions here, and he's going to demonstrate that once again.
I know, if I may say so, the Honourable Lady has an excellent reputation in this House, amongst other things, for fairness. And I know that she would want a fair investigation to take place before any comment was made. So all we are asking to do is to wait a swift period of time for the investigation to conclude. That is in the order of justice, natural order of fair play.
Look, maybe the hero of the week is Michael Ellis here because he had the guts to go and defend Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson, who we know, he attended this party. He attended other parties. He attended parties with Dominic Cummings and his press secretary and everyone else. And, you know, the staff at number 10 and Boris Johnson had a bit of a shindig. Carrie was invited. The children were invited. It was all a bit of fun. While ordinary people were respecting the rules. And what's interesting about this exchange as well is that on the Tory side, there were no cabinet ministers. Just this guy here, Michael Ellis, the Paymaster General. There were no ministers available. The Tory benches were pretty much empty as well. A few Tories turned up to ask questions, but most of these are people who disagree with any type of restrictions in the first place. So it's a charade. Boris Johnson avoiding questioning. Now he'll be in the House of Commons on Wednesday to answer questions regarding other things. But in that scenario, he knows it's different because there's going to be a limited number of questions, and most of the responses he will make will be to the opposition, the leader of the opposition, Keir Starmer. And Boris Johnson's not going to answer this. He's going to once again talk about, and I'm predicting it here, he's going to talk about the vaccine rollout and how it was necessary to leave the EU and how Keir Starmer wanted to lock down the country. And He's not going to talk about these parties. He's not going to talk about his attendance. And if he does, he will do exactly the same here as Ellis did. We have to wait for the findings. Boris Johnson knows if he attended the parties. Of course he did. All he has to come out and do, all he has to do is come out and say, yes, I attended, but I don't care. I'd actually have more respect for him if he did. But I want to say, Angela is the hero of the week. Good question. Maybe an investigation needs to be taking place on how many times of the year there wasn't a party at number 10. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.